Hey muse makers, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a fun tutorial on how to paint a Soot Sprite from Studio Ghibli films. My paint today, I'm using black, white, green, blue, red, and yellow. I also have some mixing plates to mix up all my colors, something with some water in it, some paper towels, and some brushes. I'm working with 3 different brushes today. The first one is a nice squared out brush. The next one is a flat brush, but it's more round at the end. And the last brush is a nice thin pointy brush. First thing we want to do is mix up our background color. So I'm going to grab my big square brush and a mixing plate, and we're going to be mixing up a beautiful light blue / teal with a big scoop of white. I'm going to grab a little bit of green and a little bit of blue. Mix that up, and we're going to fill in our entire background with this color. Then we're going to wait about 10 to 15 minutes for our painting to dry. Once it's dry, we're going to work on creating our Soot Sprite. I'm going to be going into my flat round brush. So we're going to take that out and basically draw a nice circle in the middle with some black paint. This is a perfect brush for anything with rounded edges since it's rounded edge itself. My circle is sort of like the size of a really big apple or a big orange. It doesn't need to be perfect at all by any means, so you can throw that out the window. Just make a circle as best as you can, and there you go. Now we need to give the Soot Sprite its texture, right? So I'm taking my small pointy brush in black paint and basically starting in the circle and flicking out. And we're going to keep doing that as if we're making a whole bunch of different sun rays, right? So they're going to come straight out from that point. Next, we're going to be creating the star that our Soot Sprite is going to hold. This is going to be top left corner. I'm going to use my small pointy brush and grab a little bit of white, a nice big scoop of blue, and mix that up. Now to make a star, we start off by drawing a nice little TP shape. So like we're drawing a triangle, but we don't draw the bottom line. Then we're going to be drawing a line through the center of that TP shape. And to the ends of those lines, we're going to cross over to the bottom 2 edge lines to fully make a star. And then you can fill it in. But our star, we want it to seem very puffy and big and round. So I'm just going to round out the corners a little bit, give them a little bit more plumpness. Next, we're going to work on all the little flower petals that we have in our painting. We're going to be getting our round flat brush. So this is perfect for creating flower petals, but our flower petals will actually double colored. So part of it is darker, part of it is lighter. So we're going to take a scoop of white and mix up a light pink, white, and a little bit of red. And then to half of that pink, we're going to add a little bit more red to it. So you see here, 1/2 is lighter, 1/2 is darker. Then we're going to get our clean brush, and then we want to basically have our brush caress the middle of the 2 colors, right? So half of our brush is light, half of our brush is dark. Then we can take it to our canvas and simply just do a little flick motion. This gives us a lovely little petal, and I'm going to do 5 of them for the flowers that are full flowers. Start at the tip of the petal and then flick in towards the center of the flower. as many of these full flowers as you want, but then we're also going to be adding just random petals throughout our painting, ones that are not connected to a full flower, they're just sort of floating in the air. Next step, we're going to be adding some little white dots here and there throughout our painting. So I'm going to take my pointy brush, but instead I'm going to use the handle. You just take the handle, you poke it in your white paint, and you poke your canvas. It's that easy. Next, we want to give some color to the center of our flowers, so I'm going to grab a scoop of white and a little bit of yellow and mix that up with my pointy brush. Then we're going to take the back handle like we did with the white paint, and we're going to poke a few dots in the center of each flower. Next, we're going to add some shadowing and highlights to our star. With my small pointy brush, I'm going to use just some straight blue paint with nothing mixed in. And along the edge of my star, I'm just going to trace it. This gives it a nice little frame and makes it stand out a whole lot more against our background color. And then the last part of our star is giving a lovely highlight. So I'm going to get a clean pointy brush. I'm going to get just a little bit of white paint on the top part of my star. I'm just going to draw a little white line. This just gives it a little 3D, little cute effect. Sticking with the same brush and white paint, we're going to be drawing the eyes for our Soot Sprite. These are oval in shape and slightly slanted. They're odd in shape. They don't have to be perfect ovals. One side can be a little bit wider than the other. So you can see it's not just like straight across oval or straight up and down oval. It's sort of slanted. Alright, time to give our Soot Sprite some legs and arms. With my pointy brush in black paint, we're going to keep these lines really, really thin by using barely any pressure on our brush, barely touching our canvas. Drawing some legs that are doing some fun shapes, right? So one's a little bit more straight, one's a little bit more bent. And then to each leg, we're going to give ourselves 3 toes. So 3 little lines that just kind of come out from the bottom of the line. Next, we're going to create the arms. I have one over here on the right side that's just going to kind of go up straight. Give it some fingers as well. And the left arm is going to be holding on to our star. So just make sure that when you draw it, you bring it all the way up to the star and draw the fingers on top of the star. Next, we're going to be adding some shadowing underneath the feet, drawing these little horizontal lines, same brush, still using black paint, and keeping it sort of like a tornado shape where it's longer lines at the top and shorter lines at the bottom. Still using that black paint, we're going to be adding some pupils to our eyes. Now, these don't have to be perfect circles. They can be more oval in shape if you want them to be. And the last step is to take the back of our brush in white paint and add some highlights into those black dots in the eyes. But that's the last and final step that I have for you. I would love to see how your paintings turned out at home. You can feel free to post them on social media and tag us at muse_paintbar so we can check them out. If you want to see more from our channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And with that, don't forget to always paint outside the lines.